guys, it's Nevada. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have for you a DIY color correcting video. What color correcting basically is you take whatever color you have on your face that you don't really like. So for dark circles, it's usually blue, black, purple pigmentation underneath your eyes. In your nose area, sometimes for people, there's redness around your mouth. You can have some purple pigmentation. So you take whatever color you don't like and then you counteract it with the opposite color in the color wheel. So for purple and blue, the opposite color is going to be something that's orange and red, and that's what under eye color correcting is. So there's a lot of high-end and drugstore correcting concealer products out there, but the thing is, color correcting isn't really an everyday thing. I don't really think that you should go out and buy a correcting concealer just for the few times that you are going to color correct. So in the few cases that you do have to color correct, why not just do it using something you already have in your makeup drawer? So for me, and I hope for everyone else, two staples are a red lipstick and some blush. And the red lipstick technique is really popular on YouTube already. You can search any video and there will be people applying lipstick to their face and using that to color correct, which is awesome. And then my second technique, I think is a pretty new one, is using blush and mixing that with some oil. So I mix it with castor oil, but you can use any oil that you have around the house that you can use for your face. So if you want to use your facial oil, if you want to use olive oil, coconut oil, whatever you got laying around. But both of these products I like a lot for counteracting dark circles, so you definitely don't need to go out and buy an orange correcting concealer. You can definitely use things you have at home. So I have both lipstick and blush on my under eyes right now, and you can see that there is no blue, black pigmentation showing at all. There are no bags. You can't see the redness. You can't see anything. So these are really good techniques as long as you do them right. And this is going to last me all night. So if you want to see how you can color correct at home without buying any new products, just keep watching. And please don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. So the number one thing that I'm going to show you is already really popular. You can find a ton of videos about it on YouTube already, and that's using a lipstick. And I'm showing you this because it's so popular, however, I do not like this. Lipstick is super pigmented as it is. It's supposed to be very pigmented, and I don't think that works very well on skin, especially when you're using it for the function of color corrector, which you're trying to hide underneath your foundation and concealer. So in any case, I'm going to show you what it looks like, because if you don't have a color corrector and you don't like the second option, this is definitely perfect for a last minute trying to fix up your under eyes before you go out. So you can use any red lipstick that you want. I'm using one that has a reddish orange tone to it, which is perfect. Dark circles means blue, black, purple pigmentation. So opposite end of that on the color wheel is basically around orange, reddish kind of shade. So this is an orange red lipstick. You don't want to use a matte lipstick because matte lipsticks are just super drying for your skin. That is just a complete no-no. You cannot use a matte lipstick for this. So this is kind of like a satin finish. What I'm going to do is just literally take this lipstick onto my fingers, just like that, and apply it only where you have pigmentation. You don't want to cover your whole under eyes. You don't want to bring it down the way you would apply concealer or anything like that. You're literally just covering up where you have pigmentation. So taking what I have on my finger, and this looks so crazy, and I know a lot of you are probably thinking, why on earth would anyone do this? But dark circles suck, and there are definitely long-term solutions. I've talked about castor oil and using an eye mask and things like that, but honestly, I've been doing that for a really long time, and the amount of difference I've seen is very minimal. So things like this are better for short term, and color correcting has become such a popular thing nowadays, so if it's helping, why not try it? Now that I've applied it literally only down here and a little bit up there, I'm just going to use the same finger and pat it into my skin to blend it out. So while this is drying, I'm going to show you guys my second technique, which I love a lot more, and I don't think anyone has done it yet, so I might be inventing it, which is super cool, but people have probably done it. So anyway, basically what I do is use blush and I mix it with castor oil. So I will insert a little demo somewhere here of me mixing my blush with the castor oil, but basically what I'm going to be doing is just scraping off some of the blush I have and adding 2, not even 3 drops of castor oil into it. I like this a lot better than the lipstick because blush itself is not as pigmented as the lipstick is, and the oil is moisturizing, so you're kind of getting the best of both worlds here. So with this, you want to make sure that the consistency is more on the pasty side than it is on the liquidy, oily side. It should be relatively thick. So again, with my fingers, I'm just going to take it and apply it only where I have the pigmentation going on. Now that you've waited long enough and your color correcting splotches have dried, you can go in with foundation. I'm using the Born This Way foundation by Too Faced. I am in the shade Honey. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it on my finger and apply it in dots around my face. So apply it the way you normally would everywhere other than your eyes. For my eye area, what I'm going to do is I'm going to dot it very lightly right on top of the color corrections. This way I'm making sure that there's product right there so I don't really have to drag around too much with my brush and hopefully not move any of that product. So for now, I'm just going to leave it at this. If I need more, I can always add more later, but I'm just going to go in with a buffing brush and start to buff it out. Do the rest of your face first before you get to your eye area, just because it is possible that that product is going to move a little bit and you will have some redness around this area, but you can always cover that up with concealer. But do it last, because if you're going to get that on your brush and then bring it up to your forehead and around your cheek areas, it's just going to look funky. With this, you have to be very careful not to swipe around underneath there, whether you're using a brush or a beauty blender, whatever it is, do not swipe. Instead, you're literally just going to keep patting it into your skin to make sure you're not moving that red underneath. So that is it with the foundation blended out. As you can see, there is still red showing through, and it is personal preference if you want to put more foundation on top of that. I'm not going to, only because I am going to go on top of it with concealer, and under my eyes specifically, I hate layering up too much products because it starts to look very cakey. Concealer, use any concealer that you want. You can't go wrong with this. I'm just going to be using my Maybelline Fit Me concealer. I am in the shade medium, and you apply this just like normal. For me, it is in a downward shaped triangle underneath my eyes that I kind of put in lines. I've said this in my concealer video, but every time I use a brush to blend out my concealer, I spray it with some rose water just because it makes the blending a lot easier and it adds a little bit extra moisture in there. So same thing when you're blending your concealer, patting motions, not swiping motions. The concealer has been blended out, and I hope you guys can see that there's a huge difference. Number one, black blue pigmentation is gone. Number two, red pinkness of the lip and blush products are gone. And now you have just like a very highlighted under eye area that is not going to fade throughout the day. That's basically it, guys. This is how I color correct without actually using a color correcting product. So for those of you who suffer from dark circles, which is pretty much all of us, you don't have to go buy a correcting concealer. Definitely try these two options out first with whatever you have at home. And if you like it, just stick with that because you're not going to be color correcting often anyways. So that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.